narratives are the stories we tell ourselves and we meet in our culture, which tell us how certain groups are, which qualities they are. They tell us also about who we are, where we come from, who we belong to, but this is the interplay. They tell us they are inclusive. Narratives are inclusive because they create a sense of belonging, but narratives are also exclusive because they can compose images of the other and hatred. Teaching about diversity is necessary because it normalizes diversity. It normalizes the idea that we are different as human beings, and it, in a way, creates a resilience against narratives and influences which promote hatred against people who are perceived as being different. It is quite essential also for everyone to be able to construct, to form meaningful narratives. And in fact, it is quite important for our psychological well-being to have a kind of coherent story of who we are. And even, for example, how we came ourselves through crisis and so on. So this is what we also call the constructive part of narrative competence. But the other side, which you just mentioned, also is when I identify some narratives I'm exposed for or I'm meeting, that I can form a different kind of narrative. And this is what we also can call counter-narratives. And this is, of course, is especially important when it comes to narratives which communicate othering, hatred, stereotypization. That I can make a decision, I want consciously to form another kind of image about this particular group. I'm watching out for elements which can be included and stories we can tell which widen and expand this limited kind of narrative.
About another group, or even about a nation.
Yeah, and even about the group I'm belonging to, because these narratives which are static and limiting, for example, national narratives, they also make it difficult to be an individual who doesn't fit in. So there is a narrative about my group, but I don't fit in. So you need to be able to make a counter-narrative. Of course, I'm belonging here, and probably there are other people like me, and we are belonging. So this is how also minorities can use the construction of narratives in order to empower themselves. So if you, for example, have the idea that a certain, it's in the Norwegian case, the link between Christianity and Norwegianness is quite strong. So if you look for like historical narratives about the Norwegian nation, Christianity is quite an important part of it. It can seem that you can't be Norwegian without being a Christian. But of course, you can find lots of stories and lots of historical record telling, yes, of course, others than Christians are part of the Norwegian of the Norwegian community. So this is how being able to analyze and to see, and the awareness that narratives can be exclusive are the first step in order to see how they can be expanded and how they can be made more inclusive. But the other thing is also to give the students the tools to, for themselves, analyze and critically reflect over this question: what kind of idea, what kind of narrative do I meet when I, for example, watch a movie or read a text, see an exhibition about a religious minority or another minority, or about our national history, that they are able to ask the question, how is this composed and which elements are included and what is excluded? And might there be something which I don't find there, but which I know I would find if I would look different places and for different stories and different narratives. So this is what we call the deconstructive side of working with narratives.